Welcome to the Qlause Masterclass on 8D problem solving. If you work in quality, operations, or engineering, sooner or later a serious problem lands on your desk. A customer complaint, a recurring defect, a failure nobody can explain. 8D is the method the world's most demanding industries use to solve exactly those problems, permanently. In the next few minutes, we'll walk through all 9 disciplines, D0 to D8, and we'll do it inside a real working document. The Qlause 8D Toolkit, the Excel workbook you can download and use on your very next problem. Here's the plan. First, the method itself, where 8D comes from, when to use it, and how the disciplines fit together. Second, root cause analysis done properly, on 3 legs. Why the problem occurred, why it escaped to the customer, and why the system allowed it in the first place. Third, the supporting tools. Is not, the Ishikawa diagram, and the 3-legged 5 why, and exactly where each one fits in the process. And fourth, the failure modes, the classic mistakes that get 8D reports rejected by customers and auditors, so yours never are. Let's start with why a structured method matters at all. Most organizations don't lack effort, they lack discipline. The quick fix gets applied, everyone moves on, and 3 months later, the same defect is back. That's because quick fixes treat symptoms, not causes, and cost multiplies downstream. A defect caught at your process costs cents. The same defect caught at the customer costs sorting actions, claims, special audits, and, hardest to win back, trust. Finally, if you supply automotive or any regulated industry, your customers don't just want the problem gone. IATF 16949. The VDA and the major OEMs expect a disciplined, documented response. Opinion is not evidence. So what is 8D? It's a team-based, evidence-driven method for solving serious problems permanently, structured into 8 disciplines plus a preparation step. It was born at Ford in 1987 under the name Team-Oriented Problem Solving. In the mid-90s, Ford upgraded it to Global 8D, adding 2 ideas that changed everything. D0, a preparation and emergency response step, and the escape point, the question of why your controls didn't catch the defect. Today, the method is the de facto standard for complaint response. The VDA publishes a dedicated 8D volume. AIAG publishes the aligned CQI 20 problem-solving guideline, and IATF customers simply expect it. One caution before we start the journey. 8D is a powerful tool, and powerful tools are for the right jobs. Use 8D when the cause is genuinely unknown, when the problem is serious, recurring, or safety-related, when a customer complaint demands a formal response, or when the problem crosses departmental lines. Don't force it when the cause and fix are obvious. Just fix it and standardize. Don't use it for trivial one-offs, and don't use it as a substitute for product development. Running a full 8D on a problem that needed a 5-minute fix teaches your organization that 8D is bureaucracy. It isn't, when it's used where it belongs. Here's the whole method on one slide. 9 disciplines, 3 jobs. The first 4, D0 to D3, protect the customer. Prepare, build the team, define the problem, contain it. The next 3, D4 to D6, find and fix the cause. Root cause analysis, choosing corrective actions, implementing and validating them. The last 2, D7 and D8, lock it in. Prevent recurrence anywhere in the system, then recognize the team and close on evidence. Keep this map in your head. Everything from here is just walking the road. Discipline 0. Prepare. When a problem is reported, resist the urge to interpret. Capture the symptom exactly as it arrived. Who reported it, when, what they actually saw. In the toolkit, that's the first block of the 8D report tab. If people or the customer are at immediate risk, act now. Stop shipments, quarantine stock, inform the customer. Those are emergency response actions, and they're recorded, with evidence that they worked. Finally, confirm 8D is the right tool. Unknown cause? Serious or recurring? Customer requires it? Then proceed, and the progress tracker at the top of the report keeps the whole journey visible. Discipline 1. The team. 8D is a team sport. The clue is in the original name, team-oriented problem solving. 3 to 6 people who genuinely know the product, the process, and the data. Small and knowledgeable beats large and senior, every time. Two roles are non-negotiable. The team leader drives the work day to day, and the champion, the sponsor, has the authority to release resources and is personally accountable for closure. 8Ds without a champion don't die dramatically, they just quietly stall. For specialist questions, pull in ad hoc experts for a single discipline rather than growing the core team. Discipline 2 is where most 8Ds are won or lost. Define the real problem, factually. Start with one sentence, an object and a defect. Bracket 4711 cracks at the weld seam, not welding issues again. Then answer the 5 W's and 2 H's. What exactly is wrong? When was it first seen? Where? On the part and in the plant. Who found it? How was it detected? And how many? Quantities, percentages, ppm, trend. Numbers, not adjectives. Finally, record which requirement is violated and check the PFMEA. Was this failure mode even on it? If not, you've already found a systemic weakness. Hold that thought for D7. Here's the first spotlight tool, and it's the one the VDA explicitly names as best practice. Is not analysis. The idea is beautifully simple. Describe what the problem is, and, in the second column, what it logically could be, but is not. It's on line 2, but not line 1. Night shift, but not day shift. Since March, but not before. Every difference between those two columns is a clue, because the cause must explain the pattern. Why line 2? Why nights? Why March? In the toolkit, the is not tab gives you a guided grid across 10 dimensions. What, where, when, and how big, with prompts in every row, and it feeds your most likely causes straight into the 5 why tab. Discipline 3. Containment. While the team investigates, the customer must be protected. Today. Sort, hold, 100% inspect, inform. And think in locations. Suspect parts don't only sit in your plant. They're at the customer, in transit, in finished goods, on the line, at the supplier. The toolkit's D3 block has a checklist for exactly that. 2 rules make containment credible. First, verify it works. Resort results. Audit data. An unverified containment is a hope, not an action. Second, mark the clean point. The date and identification from which parts are known good. And remember the golden rule. Containment is not correction. It buys you time. It never closes an 8D. Now the heart of the method. Discipline 4. Root cause analysis. And here's the idea that separates real 8D from paperwork 8D. Every defect has more than one root cause. The occurrence leg. Why was the defect physically made? The detection leg. Why did it escape? And specifically, what was the escape point? The earliest control that should have caught it but didn't. And the systemic leg. Why was this possible at all? What gap in planning, standards, training, or FMEA allowed both? Fix only the occurrence leg, and the next defect walks straight through the same open door. Auditors look for all 3 answers, and the toolkit gives each leg its own row, with verification evidence. Tool 2, the Ishikawa or fishbone diagram, your structured brainstorm. Take the problem statement from D2, put it at the head of the fish, and work through the 6 M's. People, machine, method, material, measurement, and environment. The diagram's job is to generate possibilities. It proves nothing. Every branch is a hypothesis. That's why the toolkit pairs the fishbone canvas with a cause evaluation table. Rate each candidate high, medium, or low. Then go to the process and verify the likely ones. Only confirmed causes move forward to the 5 why. Tool 3. The 3-legged 5 why. Take a verified cause and ask why. Then ask why again. Keep going until you reach a system you can change. Sometimes that's 3 whys, sometimes 7. Run 1 chain for each leg. Occurrence, detection, systemic. 2 rules keep the chains honest. First, never stop at a person. Operator error, a supplier's name, lack of attention. Those are symptoms. Ask why the process allowed the error and why it wasn't caught. Second, test every chain by reading it backwards with therefore. If root cause, therefore why 4, therefore why 3 doesn't flow logically, the chain is broken. Fix it before you build actions on it. Before you leave D4, one standard must be met. Every root cause is verified, not voted. The gold standard test. Can you switch the problem on and off? Reinstate the suspected cause and the defect appears. Remove it and the defect vanishes. That's proof. Where you can't experiment, use data. Does the cause correlate with the pattern from your eyes? Is not. The shifts, the batches, the dates? The Toolkit's D4 block records the verification method and the evidence for each leg, plus the escape point. That's what turns an opinion into a root cause a customer will accept. Discipline 5. Choose the permanent corrective actions. The logic is one-to-one. Every verified root cause gets an action that removes it. Removes, not monitors. Adding another inspection is rarely a corrective action. It's usually a confession that the process still makes defects. Prefer error proofing. Make the defect impossible, or at least impossible to pass on. Then, before full rollout, prove the action works. A pilot lot, an offline trial, a simulation. And check for side effects. The fix must not create a new problem somewhere else. In the toolkit, each proposed action maps to its root cause leg, with its trial result and risk check. Discipline 6. Implement and validate. Implementation is owners and dates. Validation is data. Show before and after evidence that the problem actually stopped. PPM, first time through, audit results. And validate in two places. At the point of cause, where occurrence should now be impossible, and at the escape point, where detection would now catch anything that slipped through. Only when validation passes do you remove containment, and you record that date back in the D3 block, closing the loop. The 100% sort was always temporary. D6 is the discipline that makes it safe to switch off. Discipline 7 is what separates a good 8D from a great one. The defect is fixed. Now fix the system that produced it. Update the PFMEA. Add the failure mode if it was missing. Revise the ratings if they were wrong. Update the control plan, work instructions, process flow, inspection standards, training. Then read across. Where else could this exact weakness live? The same part on another line. The same process in another plant. The same design assumption in the next product. The toolkit's read across table makes this explicit and feeds lessons learned back into development, so the next design never inherits the problem. And Discipline 8, recognize the team, and close on evidence. Recognition isn't a courtesy. Problem-solving capability is something an organization builds, and celebrating a well-run 8D is how you build it. Capture what worked and what you do differently. Then the closure rule. Schedule an effectiveness review, typically after 3 to 6 months of real data, and ask one question. Has the problem stayed fixed? Only then do the signatures go on. Team leader, champion, quality manager, and the customer where required, always for safety-related issues. Let's flip the lens. When customers and auditors reject 8D reports, it's almost always one of 6 mistakes. 1. Containment sold as correction. The 100% sort quietly becomes permanent. 2. Operator error as a root cause. A person is never a root cause. 3. Root cause by vote. Brainstormed, agreed, never verified. 4. The missing escape point. Occurrence fixed, detection untouched. 5. Actions without owners or dates. Improve awareness is not an action. 6. Closing at implementation, with no effectiveness review. Check your last 8D against these 6. If it passes, you're ahead of most. Everything you've just learned lives in one working document, the Qlause 8D Toolkit, a guided 8D report from D0 to D8, with coaching notes under every heading, pick lists for statuses and legs, and a progress tracker that colors itself as you work. The 3 analysis tools, is not, Ishikawa with cause evaluation, and the 3-legged 5Y, each on their own tab, cross-referenced from the report. And every field auditors look for is first class. Escape point, verification evidence, read across, effectiveness review, sign off. It's print ready, customer shareable, and you save 1 file per problem. No software to install, just Excel, done properly. If you remember nothing else from this masterclass, remember these 6 rules. 1. Containment protects. It never corrects. 2. Root causes are verified, not voted. 3. Operator error is never a root cause. 4. Every problem has 3 legs: occurrence, escape, systemic. 5. Every action maps to a verified cause. with an owner and a date. 6. Close on evidence. No effectiveness review, no closure. They're printed on the README tab of the toolkit, and they're exactly what a customer auditor checks first. That's the 8D method, end to end. From a symptom on a Monday morning to a system that can't produce the problem again. Here's your next step. Download the Qlause 8D toolkit and run your very next problem through it, discipline by discipline. The method only becomes yours when you use it. And if this was useful, explore the rest of Qlause at qlause.app. Plain English ISO 9001 clause guidance, audit tools, templates, and the growing Masterclass series. Thanks for watching, and happy problem solving.